All right, we're testing this out. So, if you were following me on TikTok, you may have noticed that I am no longer there. And that was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. So, I'm back here. I'm going to keep doing readings and keep doing videos of my own personal experiences that I think might resonate with other people going through similar ones. Um, yeah. So, to start off, to get my bearings again in this platform, I thought I would just come on and do an energy update. It is February 18th as I'm doing this. It's actually after 1 in the morning. I'm a night owl, and the cats are eating food right now, so you might hear the crunching. It's a 1 a.m. snack. So yeah, I just thought I'd anyone who is drawn to this video and anyone who finds this video, there might be a nugget of wisdom in here for you. That's Whitey. And so I'm just going to tune into any kind of collective. Yeah. So I always channel messages from the highest vibration of love and light, always and only in the highest good of anyone who receives. So let's get going here. I'm going to use 3 decks. I'm going to start off with this beautiful fairy forest deck from Lucy Cavendish. It is one of the most beautiful decks I own as far as artwork. It's just gorgeous. So let's get a starting card and then see what that was better. Yeah, initiate. Okay, so this is interesting. It either says initiate or initiate. It could be both. Let's tune in and see what's going on. 14 breaks down to 5. Big change. Big fucking surprise, right? That's lucky. That's lucky. Curiosity, open, warm. So as we are over the hump of February, right? We're in the last like 10 days of February. This energy of March is already coming in. It's already kind of sneaking in a little bit, and it's going to be being able to as we get closer to April, right? April 1st is really the first day of the year. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know who told you it was January, you moron. April Fools, right? Those of us who still like April 1st are fools. But if you think about it, it's like it's frigidly cold out there. It is just it's the friggin' Arctic in Iowa and even worse up in northern Minnesota where I'm from. It's just ridiculously cold temperatures right now. How can that be time to set New Year's resolutions to move more when the entire environment is telling us to find more stillness in this icy cold, right? Like there's literally cards in here that I want to find one in particular because it's just screaming at me right now that shows this icy this. Look at this. This is I'm just gonna pull this. Ooh, whoa. Whoa, something's going on in my head right now. Because look at this is where we're at right now. Like this is what the world is telling us to do. And it's literally stillness, pause, delicacy. I'm gonna keep that out only because I feel like it's relevant. It called to me for a reason, but I do feel like um some of us are already feeling this. Yeah. I think it's initiate. Let's go with initiate and tune into that. So initiate would mean to start something, right? To be the one to start something, whether it's a solo act or a collaborative effort. If you're watching this, then you are likely the one who is going to make the next move. Okay. Now, I would say that it is okay if it's a slow roll. This is all I'm Baby steps are allowed on this journey. Baby steps are allowed on this journey always. The fact, though, that it's 14 breaks down to 5, which is change, I still am feeling slow though, because I'm going to incorporate this stillness, pause, delicacy. Well, we're not paused anymore, but we're moving slowly, heading toward April, the beginning of the year where we can really go. I mean, that's the energy of rebirth, of renewal, of rejuvenation, right? Of new growth, of just blank slates, all the good stuff. But we're already starting to feel like, look at this, not icy at all. And so the energy coming in is already kind of a warmth that is going to begin to thaw this frozen stillness that we've been in. And so curiosity, open, warm, yeah, it's really we're really starting to open up. It's going to be slow, okay? Again, it's okay to take it slow. It's okay to be cautious. It's okay to go, okay, just I'm just going to do one thing toward that goal. And always, always, always listen to your own intuition. But I wanted to point out, like, you got to look at this little angry squirrel behind her or chipmunk or whatever he is. This card cracks me up every time because he is so angry. Look how angry he is. Oh my goodness. He's so angry. It's hilarious. So the thing is you're gonna start moving slowly. I don't want the glare on there. You're gonna start to make movements, and you're gonna have haters around you. You're gonna have people going, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you going that way? Why are you making that decision? What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? You're crazy." And it's gonna feel so good to you to go the way you're going that you're almost going to laugh at how judgmental they are and how you're gonna see them in a new light as having these blinders on and not being able to see past the end of their own nose, right, as they say. A lot of people are still in a space of not being able to see outside their bubble, okay? The bubble that they have created for themselves that is safe and warm and full of their trauma and their pain that they can hide behind, and they can stay in their victim mentality, and no judgment, seriously, no judgment. I used to be, and, I've done so much healing around it. It's like I'm just stating the reality that there are people who are still super happy being in their own little space where they can do nothing but bitch and complain, right? And try to pull everyone else down around them. What this is showing me is you're about to move away from these people, okay? But it's okay to go slow because there's something that you're moving toward. You're going to initiate something. You're going to initiate this movement towards something. Okay. So let's get, now I'm going to get my, I'm going to get I'm going to do three cards from this beautiful Gaia Oracle, which had been hiding for a while. And I was super happy to find it again. I'd forgotten how magical it is. And so this is the overall energy. Like this is where we have been. All right. And we're beginning to slowly, ever so slowly see that, like, notice this light back here, that it's kind of gray and it's not, but see how she's like tilted? She's starting to feel just a tiny bit of that warmth. Okay. And so this is the overall energy of this reading. So it's change coming slowly with warmth and with a slow opening. Okay. Like the lotus flower, very slow expansion and opening. And with you, with you making a move toward a path that maybe even a month ago you did not think, maybe you didn't even see it, but before you're watching this, either you didn't think you were ready, you couldn't see it, it wasn't there before, or you have been working on self-worth. You didn't think you deserved it because it seems too good to be true. I am here to tell you, those people who say if it seems too good to be true, it is. It's so not true. Not true. Okay. Sometimes it's exactly what you deserve from all the healing and all the work and all the and having a big heart and being compassionate and helping others. You deserve things that feel good. And we're so used to the suffering and the pain, and we're so addicted to our suffering and our pain that we want to stay in it. And I will tell you that if you're experiencing even more than usual suffering, pain, whether physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, even, like if there is just If everything seems to be crashing down around you, then the universe is telling you that bubble is not cannot sustain you anymore. It's time to expand, okay? It's time to fucking expand. Let's go. Okay, oh yeah. Oh, let's do that. Goddess of creation, winter's end, fuck yes, and loss. Okay, I like this. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be a bad card. So the numbers are 7, 16, which is also 7, and 20. I love it. 7, 7, 20, which is essentially 772. So this is Goddess of Creation. Look at that beautiful card. And it says transformation, creativity, wholeness. This is the path you're on now. Okay. So you've been in a space of frozen stillness, which was necessary. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with being in stillness. With, a lot of us translate that as being stuck, and that's only because we're resisting the stillness, okay? When you are ready to move, you'll know and you'll move. We overthink these things, right? But I feel like, well, you've been in the stillness and kind of the frozen energy so long that you forgot what it feels like to move. And so maybe you try and then you trip, or you try and then you forget how to walk, right? Like I don't, look at this. Thank you. Thank you, Lucky. And so this is the beginning. And this is for man, woman, whatever you resonate as, it does not matter. This is a goddess energy. It's a feminine energy. So it's a movement in a very deliberate and compassionate way, right? That's why it's slow. That's why it should feel flowy, but it's also why it doesn't feel like this huge leap or this like intentional, like, oh, I'm just gonna take a step, because it's a feminine energy. Okay. It doesn't matter what the vessel looks like. Okay. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy. And so you are, because you've been in this place, this is a very feminine space, right? That passive, that deep healing, that introspection, that being in here so long. Okay. And you've been doing it for so long that now as you step out into more masculine energy, you have to do it in a feminine way first, because you're opening up, right? Like you're opening up, you're initiating a whole new path, a whole new energy, and it's okay to come out kind of in a cushion. I keep wanting to say in a womb space, right? Like protected by the womb. Okay, you're going to come out in that space. And I mean, look at her too. She just looks very protected. There's just a lot of this just feels safe, like she is not concerned about her safety at all, or who's looking at her, right? So you're beginning this new path of transformation, creativity, and wholeness. If you're a creator, okay, if you came here to create, if you have a longing to bring things into the world that no one else has thought of before, that maybe somebody else thought of but then didn't do anything with, if you have a longing to be an innovator, then this is the path that you are taking right now. And nothing feeds your soul more, nothing brings you closer to wholeness than being in that creation space. And that creation space is feminine. Okay. So you're really tapping into that right now, that feminine space where you're going to start going, okay, well, it's inspired, inspiration. And so these feminine steps, my friend Angie K would say, inspired action, aligned and inspired action can have a very feminine energy, even though it is movement, because it's so flowy, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Winter's end, regeneration, rebirth, positive outcome. I mean, come on, like gorgeous. Like I know there's a lot of it's a lot of in this deck, and they're just beautiful. And she's like, it almost looks like she's hiding behind a tree. She's like formed herself to the shape of the tree and she's peeking out. So again, it's like this energy of, okay, I can start coming out. I'm feeling the warmth. Like, look at the sun on her naked body. Like she's starting to feel that warmth. Um, I feel like her hair is a lot like mine, even though it's up right now. It's really long dreads. And that's cool. And the flowers, the tree is just beginning to flower in tiny little white flowers. Like winter is coming to an end. So I know the groundhog saw his shadow and he hightailed it back in. You got to remember he's only right like 30% of the time, or even less than that, I think. Okay, so we're going to ignore Puxatawny Phil. Don't tell Phil. Don't tell Phil, please. Um, because energetically, I am feeling no, it's gonna take a month, right? It is going to take a month, like, we really shouldn't be making giant leaps. I shouldn't say shouldn't. I shouldn't say shouldn't, say shouldn't. I shouldn't say the word shouldn't at all. Um, but we are leading up to the beginning of April where we really are gonna be able to feel this energy of movement, okay? That's gonna be inspired action, yes, but more in a of a masculine energy, right? Which is gonna be beautiful because then we get to leap, then we get to go. But right now we are experiencing kind of the beginning of the end is what I'm getting. Like, again, it's a slow roll, it's a flowy energy, it's baby steps, it's just peeking out. And so look at how she's just kind of peeking out around the tree and going like, okay, I feel that warmth. Like, is it okay to step out? And maybe the only inspired action she's doing right now is observing. Like where maybe before she had her eyes closed, right? She had her eyes closed and she was just embracing that stillness. And then this is even just listening. Like, look at this. So we're going from listening, like she's like, oh, oh, I hear something. And now peeking around the corner of the tree. So it's very slow and flowy, and that's okay. And the last card is 20, and it is loss, grief, sadness. But then look at the last word, resurrection. So what I'm seeing here is when you start, so you're going to, right? You've been here, eyes closed, in your own energy, in your own shit, right? This is who you are. You have already claimed this new path. There's no going back. Okay. There's no going back. There's no, oh, never mind. I think I'll now. But I'm gonna go back in here. Mm-mm. There's no going back. You've claimed it, but it's very flowy. It's very comfy. It's very safe. It's very comforting. It's very womb spacey, right? But this is the path of transformation, creativity, and wholeness. That sounds amazing to me. That sounds fucking beautiful to me. And so you've got that, but then you're listening. You're like, "Oh, okay, I hear. Okay, I'm claiming this path because I hear the call." She hears the call and she's ignoring she's like, I gotta find the right lighting, sorry. She's ignoring that precious little hater who's just gonna judge you no matter what you do. And there's likely more than one, okay? I think for some of you, you're surrounded by people who you know are gonna be like, "What are you doing? Don't do that. No, 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 no. Come back into the fold. Come back into the safe space where we can all be victims together, where we can all be married to our illnesses and our diseases and all the trauma, right? Oh, the pain, your pain is your armor. Wear it proudly." We're done with that. We're done with that. It is time to drop the armor. It is time to heal the trauma and the pain, okay? It's time to dive right in. And so you've been doing that. This was the space where you began to do that. Now that you've claimed, now that you've initiated this path, right? Because you heard the call, now you know that you're on this path of transformation. It's not easy. It's not easy, but you're going slow. You're taking it slow. You're being cautious. That's okay. And so what's going on then is once you start moving out, once you actually take that first step, which you're going to be doing very soon in the next month for sure, you're going to grieve the old you. And that can be a very profound visceral experience. It can affect you physically, right? When you begin to grieve, okay, I'm actually stepping away from this old life, this old way of being, the old way of doing things. This new path is calling me so fucking loudly. I cannot ignore it. But you have to allow yourself to grieve that old you, okay? I feel like this is her too, like, this is even just her again, like, she's peeking out, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take that little tiny step. I'm gonna put my big toe out, and bam, there it is." Like, and I don't want you to worry about this because it's part of the process. Yes, it may likely be painful and challenging. Just keep moving forward. Okay, keep going because I promise you the path that you have claimed, this path of creativity and wholeness, especially if you're a creator. And I can't imagine like this message is for creators. Okay. Doesn't matter. Sun, moon, rising, Venus does not matter. If you are a creator and you long to bring new ways of being, of existing, of living, and that could be in a way of holding on to ways that were lost that maybe we now need to bring back in a new way, right? It's going to be all renewed. Like, even if it's old skills, um, old ways of being that were lost or that have started to die, I feel like bringing them back will be a beautiful transition into the new because then we can allow them to get the upgrade that they need, right? And they'll either fall away or they're gonna be even better for the existence of the planet, right? And so you go through the grief and the sadness after you realize that, okay, I am walking away from the old me. I'm not going back. I can't plug back in. I'm not doing it. I'm going to keep moving forward. Resurrection. Like you're going to feel this beautiful resurrection. Yep, there goes my body. It always responds when I'm speaking a deep truth. Need a little shot of kombucha. So let's do one more from this beautiful deck, my favorite deck that I own, Sacred Traveler. We are all travelers on this sacred journey. Let's get a final card because, yeah, now we're at this resurrection point where it's like, okay, once you take the step, it's like two steps forward, one step back for a little while. Again, you're going to feel that underlying foundational energy of, I have to go this way. You're being called. You are answering the call, okay? You're keeping my beautiful friend Aisha Love says you're keeping your divine appointment, and it will get you to the next divine appointment, and it's all so worth it, I promise, okay? I kept a divine appointment on May 13th, 2024, and I'm so fucking glad I did. So many things had to align to make that happen. So many things, and yeah. So those divine appointments are life-changing and shift you onto the path that you're meant to be on, okay? So let's final card. I can wrap this up here. Oh, I do kind of yeah, yeah, okay. Look at this, choosing your path, all is possible. Yeah, like I said, you've committed, you have initiated this new path, you've chosen it. Anything is possible now. And notice the picture, the image. If you know the tarot at all, this is very much like the Fool card. He's standing on the edge of the cliff. He's thinking about jumping. He's wondering what's down there. He knows he has to go. He can choose. Like there's a path here. There's a path. I can't point. There's a path right here that goes around. I'm backwards, so it's so weird. He can choose to take that long way, or he can jump. So you get to choose here. And this is going to be by the end of March, okay? By April 1st, you're going to be making a very big decision. Notice too that he's in his full armor still and his cape, but his sword is in the sheath. He really looks like he's contemplating his existence, his life, the choices he's made in the past, and he's ready to take that armor off. But he's got to take it off before he jumps. He's got to jump in a raw, vulnerable, naked, real energy. And then anything is possible. Then he can create the life that he wants. Let me see if I want this one. Yeah. And then Mystic Healer. Now, this is just speaking to you becoming this creator, this creator that is going to feed your soul, that is going to bring you to wholeness within yourself. Okay. And when we move in the right direction, and I say that you can't ever go in the wrong direction. The worst thing you can do is not move at all, and that's not even possible. That's not even okay. That is a cat toy. Just making sure that's not even really possible to not move. Even if you don't move, I have described it in the past as if you have ever been to a bigger airport where they have the people movers and you can stand on it and it moves you, or you can walk on it. You are on the people mover at all times. This ascension is moving, like you're going forward. If you're not moving on it, you are curled up in the fetal position on the people mover. So the people mover is moving, but when it comes to the end, you're not going to be ready for it, and it's going to hurt, and you're going to get pulled in and stuck and injured and harmed, and shocked and all these things, right? But if you're standing, at least standing, you don't even have to be walking. You see it coming and you can gently get off. This is the energy I'm seeing for this the rest of February and into March is this just observe for now and take small little steps. And for some of you, likely most people watching are resonating with this. If you for the few who maybe are just watching, because you like my face or whatever, because you like kitties, and you feel the need to walk on the people mover, go for it. Go for it. Listen to your own intuition. Don't listen to me if it doesn't resonate. Always, always, always take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. Don't ever try to force, and he's just confirming this, you guys. Don't ever try to force that square peg into the round hole. It won't serve you. Okay. You don't have to do what anybody else is doing. Okay. So anyway, so if you're watching this, you are likely a creator. You're seeking that wholeness. You're seeking that purpose, that sense of fulfillment, that soul feeding path. I'm here to tell you your soul has already shifted you onto it. And if you're experiencing everything caving in on itself in your life right now, then that's just a little bit of resistance that is clearing from your body. Okay. I don't even want you to worry about it. I don't even want you to worry about it because, resistance is not something that, for me personally, it doesn't work to go in and go, okay, I'm going to get rid of this resistance. How do I get rid of this resistance? Then you're literally resisting your resistance and you're caught in a downward spiral. Okay. All you can do, you can go into a meditative state and say, okay, show me my resistance. And you can talk to it. You can have a beautiful conversation with it. And you can say, he's so cute. And you can say, okay, thank you for being here. I don't need you anymore. Like, I'm just gonna keep going. Or you can say, "Thank you for being here. Hang out as long as you want, but I'm gonna keep going. Like, you're welcome to stay, but you don't make the decisions. You're not driving the boat, right?" So, yeah, I think that's all I've got for this one. This is beautiful, beautiful, protected energy, okay, cushioned energy. So go ahead. Like, I know you're, because I know you wanna see the naked lady again. I know you're feeling the warmth of the energy coming in, like, "Oh, something's thawing," right? Even though we're in this super cold time right now, it's okay. You're feeling the warmth of something energetically, wanting you to begin to move, but at the very least, you've already heard the call. The haters are there, they're gonna be there forever. Just smile and nod and then do your thing, okay? No matter what you do, they're gonna be there, and then you turn toward the warmth, and you're like, "Hmm, okay." And you may be feeling a little vulnerable, right? Like, she's not wearing nothing. You might be feeling a little vulnerable and raw and too visible. So just observe for a little while until it feels because it's going to feel you're gonna have a moment where you're like, "Oh, that feels good, I'm gonna move." Okay? Now, when you start moving, then you're gonna start the grieving process of leaving the old you behind, but the old you is already dead. Okay? It's an ego death. Every time we commit to the new path, which you've already done, that old you, it's already I tell a lot of my clients, I say, sometimes it helps to visualize, to do a little meditation with yourself and have a attend your own funeral, but it's the old you. And I want you to see the old you actually in the open casket. And you're going to do whatever you need to do. Like some people lay flowers on it, some people lay a trinket, and it's a specific thing, right? Like here's this sentimental thing that we know that I no longer need, and you can take it with you, something from grandma or whatever, right? Allow the movie to play in front of you. Allow yourself to be carried through this visualization once you start it and go, okay, I'm attending the funeral of the old me, and then say goodbye. Say thank you. Thank you for getting me this far. I got it from here. Goodbye. And then visualize the casket closing or whatever you need to do, even the casket lowering into the ground, into the dirt, and the shoveling of the dirt on top, whatever you need to do to really truly sink into that. Okay, I'm new now. I'm new and I'm on the new path. The old me's gone, because but allow yourself that grieving process just like you would if anyone in your life that you loved passed away, crossed over, left this reality. That old you is gone, and we hold on to the idea of it, and we try to hold on to the things that worked for that old us, even though they continually show us they're no longer working, okay? It'll just be like banging your head against the wall. And things that used to feed your soul just don't anymore. And you find yourself wanting to do different things, wanting to find new ways of spending your time, wanting to find maybe new people to spend your time with. Okay. So this is going to involve letting go of people too, right? You got to let yourself grieve. Let yourself grieve. Have the funeral. Have the funeral because that's going to lead to your resurrection. Because remember, I've said this so many times. If you ever watch me on TikTok, death and new life, same instant. Ending and beginning, same instant. There is no gap, okay? As soon as that old you died, the new you was there, ready to take on this new path. So you're ready, but it's okay to move slow. That's all I got. I love you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching.